Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Snack-Kenn. Finally, I'm getting around to the video that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, which is the one where I try an assortment of Japanese carbonated soft drinks. And I have 5 to sample today. I actually thought I had 6, not including the one that I tried out in the last video. But I thought I had 6 flavors, but if I did, the other one seems to have gone missing, and if that's the case, then I will do that one in a separate video, I guess. But let's get right into it with, actually, I'm going to save this one, Muscat, or Muscat, however it's pronounced, for last. Because, I don't know, it just seems like saving the mystery flavor for last seems like the best way to go. So we have mango, grape, coconut, and blueberry. And I think that, you know what, I'm going to go with the safest flavor, because grape is, pretty common overall. It's pretty much sort of a universal, I guess, favorite flavor. So why not? Now it just doesn't want to play nice. There we go. So I can't remember if these are called like glass ball soft drinks or what exactly. It just, because, well, 1, I can't read Japanese, and 2, it just says carbonated soft drink with the flavor on the front. Before I try it out real quick, let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that's right. These, strangely enough, actually do use high fructose corn syrup, which I thought was strange. Perhaps it's because it's, let's see, distributed by, San Francisco, blah-de-blah. I assumed it was made in Japan, but maybe not. Maybe it's sort of an Americanized version. But whatever, let's try out the grape. And you know what? Despite the fact that, again, it has the high fructose corn syrup, which usually, at least in my opinion, adds to it being a very, very sweet flavor, it's not overbearingly sweet. It definitely has a bit of a artificial grape taste to it. I mean, it's just, once you try enough things, it gets pretty clear. But, this is actually, well, if you've had a grape soda before, those are essentially the epitome of artificial grape tasting drinks. We'll put it that way. And at the same time, while this doesn't taste as good as, grape juice, let's say, this is, I would say overall more of a neutral flavor in the end. So if you, I'm actually kind of torn. If you like grape soda in general, you might like this, but at the same time, again, although it's a carbonated soft drink, it's not as carbonated as, say, a regular grape soda. So I almost, in my opinion, it's quite good. However, if you're coming at it from, you just want something to drink and you really like grape soda, you might be a bit disappointed because you'll probably feel that it tastes a bit flat, or actually, maybe that's a good way to put it, it tastes sort of like a flat grape soda, but with a slightly better taste. Again, it's more neutral, or rather, it's fairly neutral if you compare this to grape juice and then a grape soda. It kind of falls somewhere in between, but probably closer to the soda. So, yeah, overall, not bad. But again, in the end, fairly average. So I would give that a 3 out of 5. Definitely a 3 out of 5. So right down the middle, average flavor. And let's see what we have to pick from now. We have mango, coconut, and blueberry. So of any of these that I expect to have a rather strong flavor, I would guess it would be blueberry. So let's go with that next. Gotta remember, not with a thumb, but with the palm. And as you can see there, it's, I would almost expect it to be a raspberry flavor, because that's kind of how it goes here in the US. For some reason, anytime you have a drink that is artificially flavored in the end, because yeah, there says nothing about natural flavors in here. Well, it does say, okay, it does say product of Japan at the bottom, so yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they just decided to go with high fructose corn syrup because it's easier to do. But again, I'm used to it being a raspberry flavor, so I'm interested to see what blueberry in this regard will taste like. Now, strangely enough, this is really interesting because I actually got more of a grape soda taste from this than I did with the actual grape drink, which kind of is a little bit confusing to my taste buds, to say the least. But overall, it also has a better flavor. I would now it kind of goes without saying, but as far as it tasting artificial, it does taste more artificial than the grape drink did. But for me, that's not a huge deterrent, but if anyone's going for like a natural tasting drink, it might be. But yeah, I'm honestly pretty impressed with this. It's not great by chance, or by chance, it's not great per se, but it's definitely a step up from the grape drink. Let me try one more. Yeah, overall, this is pretty darn good. If you do like grape soda, I would recommend you get the blueberry instead of the grape if you're going around trying to find one of these. Or maybe even, you know, if it's not too much, I don't think these really cost all that much, get both and try it out, see what you think. You know, if you don't like one, maybe your friend will, or you can just drink them both if you think they're pretty comparable. But again, overall, I would say that if you're a grape drink or a grape soda enjoyer, go for the blueberry flavor. And I would give this a 4 out of 5, honestly. The flavor impressed me, for sure. Okay, now again, with Muscat being last, we have coconut and mango, and you know what? I'm going to hold the coconut for next to last. Let's go with the mango. Maybe this time I'll remember to go with the palm and not the thumb. And I did. Okay, now definitely has, you know, that mango color to it, right? I guess you would say that. Maybe even an orange drink. Actually, that might be what I'll try and compare it to, is orange soda. Or maybe that's way off base. Hard to say. Wow, okay, so me saying I would compare it to an orange soda was mostly in jest, but honestly I'd say it's fairly accurate. It definitely has a citrusy taste to it, but at the same time, if you've ever had mango, the mango flavor definitely comes through here. So again, while they're still using the, oh, well okay, this one has actually more sugar than high fructose corn syrup, which actually helped the flavor a bit. Again, it tastes artificial, but not quite so much with this one. And it had sort of that orange soda-y taste to it. I just... this one honestly blows me away. I'm going to take one more quick drink just to sort of get some final thoughts on it. Yeah, overall, I don't even have to think twice about this, to be completely honest. Of the Japanese carbonated soft drinks that I've had so far, this is the best tasting one. Completely honest. The mango flavor works really well. It even has a sort of mango aftertaste to it. Again, doesn't taste too artificial, in my opinion. And it just has that nice citrusy taste to it that gives me thoughts of an orange soda, or an orange pop, or whatever you prefer to call them. But yeah, so the mango Japanese carbonated soft drink, I give this a 5 out of 5. This is, I mean, comparatively speaking, this is stellar. This is by far the best one I've had. But that brings us down to our final two, and next will be Excuse me, that carbonation is not going to let me not burp. Excuse me. But next up is the coconut. Now I will say this, I enjoy coconut water. And I know a lot of people aren't particularly fans of it. But I'm thinking that maybe since I am a fan of coconut water, this might help this taste a bit better to me. So do keep that in mind. If I give this a lot of high praise, I will do my best to sort of compare it to coconut water, so that if you don't like coconut water, you know, you might know whether or not to stay away from this. But down the hatch. Okay, now this is a weird one. Not in a bad way, but it's honestly a bit confusing. I don't really get a lot of the coconut flavor from it. It's like, you know, you get the coconut flavor from coconut water. Especially, you know, good coconut flavor from the good brands. But I'm not really getting much coconut flavor here while trying this. It's honestly, it reminds me more of a Sprite or a Sierra Mist even. It's one more try just to make sure I'm not crazy here. Yeah, it maybe has the slightest tinge of coconut flavor to it, but I mean, you really have to be looking for it, in my opinion. I would say overall, if you enjoy Sprite or 7-Up, those kind of drinks, you could go for this and not worry at all. It doesn't have really any flavor that I would compare to a coconut water. Again, if that's something that offends you or you don't really like the taste. But at the same time, I do wish there was more of a coconut flavor in here. If they had more, maybe it would taste more artificial than it does. But in the end, I think what we have here is more or less the Japanese carbonated soft drink equivalent of a Sprite or a Sierra Mist. So it's good, just not what I expected. So for most people, like if they're just wanting to try something and, you know, they go for this, it would probably be a 5 out of 5 for them, like highly recommended. For me, just because, again, I was looking for that coconut flavor and not really getting it, I have to give this a 4 out of 5. Definitely a really good drink, just a bit disappointing in the end, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so overall, again, not bad, just not what I was expecting. But then we come to the mystery flavor. Muscat, however it's pronounced, M-U-S-C-A-T. The little figures on the bottle make me think of green grapes, but that's probably not it, I would assume at least. If this does taste like grape, then I will be supremely surprised. But yeah, this one, I'm glad I saved it for last, because I honestly have no idea what to expect here. Alright, down the hatch. I'm left more than a little bit speechless, to be completely honest. I don't know what to say about this. I can't place the flavor at all. It almost seems to have a sort of Mountain Dew flavor to it. But beyond that, I can't really think of how how to place this. So I guess from the Mountain Dew you have that sort of citrusy flavor, but yeah, I don't know. Again, just one more try, see if I can place this at all. Yeah, I've got nothing. It's not a bad flavor, but at the same time it's not really anything I would probably want to drink in any great regularity, or like with very frequently. So that's, I guess that's one thing I can say. It's not a flavor that I would want to get, but like, again, it's not bad, just hard to name, I guess you would say. I don't know, maybe I need to have whatever this fruit is someday in the future to have an idea of what the heck I'm actually trying. But yeah, I'm left at a loss. I don't know what really to say. But taking into account that, again, it's not a bad flavor, but it's also kind of middling. I would honestly have to say, like, if I rank the Grape as a 3, and it was average overall, I would probably have to give this a 2 out of 5. Because while the flavor overall is pretty average, somehow in my mind it falls a bit below that. Again, maybe it's just because I can't place the flavor, but without being able to place the flavor in my mind, it's just like, okay, it's a drink, whatever. So, although I'm ranking this a 2 out of 5, it's not anything offensive. If you want to give it a try and give your own thoughts on it, feel free to. It's just, it kind of falls pretty low on the scale for me. So, yeah, Muscat, while I did save it until last, I would have to say that it is the least favorable of any of these. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. But actually, now that I think about it, I do think I know where the other flavor is that I was going to try. So I'm going to put this down, I'll go find it, hopefully, and I'll be right back, and that will be the final flavor. So, be right back. Okay, so I did find the final flavor. I wasn't wrong, there was a 6th flavor. And it was in the upstairs refrigerator, the actual refrigerator in the house, not my little mini fridge. But the final flavor of the evening will be Litche flavor, whatever it is. So yeah, once again, don't really know what to expect here, but worth a try. There we go. Alright, so keeping in mind everything that I've said about the previous drinks, on to the one that some people actually kind of dared me to try, which is slightly worrisome, but yeah, let's give it a try. Lychee, however you're pronounced, down the hatch. Now, talk about a surprise. From some of the things I had heard about this, I was expecting this to be just honestly horrid. But I don't get that impression at all. I surprisingly really like this flavor. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like the coconut with the sort of Sprite Sierra Mist type flavor, but with a little something extra. So yeah, in the end, It's hard to say, really. As usual, one more try. Yeah, overall, it's actually quite good. And believe it or not, this is a flavor that I would say I would probably enjoy getting at the store. You know, if I'm ever at the Mall of America or anywhere else where they have these drinks. I cannot complain about this. It's not an outstanding flavor. Mango definitely still stands far above it. But at the same time, if I came across a machine that was just like, hey, soft drinks, you know, get one of these, and this is one of the options, I would probably go for it. So, yeah, overall, I would have to say Lychee. I gotta give this a 4 out of 5. It is surprisingly really good. Some of the people that dared me to try this, if you don't care for the flavor, you might think I'm insane for thinking that, but no, being completely honest, the flavor is just really surprising and refreshing. So, yeah, 4 out of 5 for the true mystery flavor of the day. And I was honestly kind of worried that, especially after the Muscat, whatever, since it was a 2 out of 5, that this would end up being truly offensive, and it would be. I don't think I've ever actually given a 1 out of 5 on anything here on the channel when I have actually given ratings for you know, the Snack-Kenn episodes. But I am pleasantly surprised to find that this is as good as I find it to be. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So in the end, I think this was pretty successful. I found at least 2, possibly even 3 drinks here that I would consider to be, you know, for sure buys. Mango definitely being the highest of them. Unless you don't like the flavor of mango, I would highly recommend this as the #1 to get if you ever want to just try these out. As for the rest, unfortunately, the first mystery flavor for me fell down at the bottom of the rung, so yeah. That is unfortunate, but that is what I do this for, to try out new things, to try out new flavors, and see what I think. Whether or not it means that I am a plebeian who does not have a refined enough palate, or if I'm just kind of a dork who likes certain things and also happens to be a bit of a picky eater / drinker in this case. But alright everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Snack-Kenn. If there are any other flavors of this that you would like for me to try out, do let me know what they are in the comments down below. If there's anything else you would like for me to try out in the future, obviously let me know what that is. And thankfully, thanks to a few of absolutely amazing Kenvians sending in some packages of sweets from Britain, I'm going to have some very enjoyable, I'm sure, episodes coming up soon for Snack-Kenn. And then also, I will finally be getting around to my re-review of the Jerky XP merchandise. Because I'm wanting to do all of them in a series of 1, maybe 2, well, I'm sorry, a series is not 1 video, but a series of 2, maybe 3 videos. We'll have to wait and see, but there's definitely a lot coming up. Let me know what you'd like to see more of, or see some new things in the comments down below. And again, if there are any other flavors that you'd like to recommend me try, let me know what they are, and I will keep an eye out for them next time I go to the mall where the store is. Tamadachi? Yeah, Tamadachi, where I got these. But thank you again, everyone. I am sorry for rambling, but until next time, I am Papa Ken, and I'll see you for the next episode of Snack-Kenn. Later days!